Hey everyone, it's Brian, and welcome back for another episode of No Heights Required. For this episode, I would like to do my personal review of Halloween Horror Nights 34's houses. We're 3 weeks in. I've done all the houses already. I did it twice for each house so I could get a good deal of it. I did a first run, and then I did another week, thought about it, went back again, did the houses, and now I have my list solidified. So let's start with my personal rank from top 10 of the houses, from the bottom, which is 10, to my favorite, which is 1. So let's jump right into it. Okay, guys, so starting off with number 10. Before I do it, I just want to let you guys know that this year, I think all the houses are great. There was not at least one bad house. All the houses were very good. Especially, I did this house today recently, like a couple hours ago, and it was all filled with all the actors. Had a good run. It was probably the best run I've had in that house, and all the actors were on point. This house, nothing wrong with it. It's just one of the houses out of the whole 10 does have to be at the bottom. And for my number 10, it will be Grave of Flesh. Now, don't get me wrong. It starts off strong. It feels like Seas of Extinction meets Graveyard Games. If you remember those houses, those are really strong, good houses. As the house goes on, it just kind of loses direction and ends up feeling a little confused towards the end a little bit. And I don't know. It starts off great, like you're in a graveyard, and then at one point you're like in a spaceship or something. That's what I felt like, but then it gets real good again and it's off. But on scares, it was on point. Like I said, there's not a single bad house on this lineup, but fortunately, a house does have to be at the bottom. And of course, and sadly, it is Grave of Flesh, but that's my number 10. At number 9 is sadly Fallout. As a huge fan of the games and the show, I really had, unfortunately, high expectations for this house. Maybe too high. The costumes were good. Even the power armors in it were really, really exciting to see. That was really good. But beyond that, the house was okay. The vault in the beginning was really cool, and then going into the town was okay. The little hint that Vegas, and you see the Deathclaw shadow at the end. Spoilers. It was alright. I didn't really expect them to ever do a haunted house for Fallout, but the show was good and the game is great. They did it what they could with what they got. It was alright. That's my number 9. As for number 8, Dolls Let's Play Dead. Now think of it as Toy Story, but if Sid from next door got possessed, I went too far. I really like the concept and the creepy design and the introduction of Lila. Great character. Possible icon. I don't think Universal wants to name icons anymore. They'll just make a character like Dr. Oddfellow, put him in the same universe, but they won't call him an icon, but still, he's a character. Same thing with Lila and the artist, or La Artista for this year. 2 characters they just introduced, but they're not icons, but maybe not, but they are. The house was really good. The walkthrough was really cool. Doll's setting was good, and how they're being tortured. Very creative and memorable, but doesn't really keep in mind like, that's like a memorable house, like something like Scarecrow. So unfortunately, that's why it's not really high on my list. But decent house, but not anything memorable to like be like, oh, you remember that house like that? No, but that's my number 8. Coming in at 7 would be Hatchet and Chains Demon Bounty Hunters. Now, this house was based on that little section movie, like B movie from Slaughter Cinema. Really cool concept, demons in the West. But what else can you ask for? It was very super creative, very interesting in the Western setting, especially we have the live scene of the witch, I guess, casting the curse onto the land, because I think that's the story goes, that they don't like what's going on with the land, so she curses everybody in that land. That's why all the demons rise up, and then Hatchet and Chains have to come in and take care of the demons. The demon stuff was cool. my favorite part of that house was the train section, where right when you go in and you see like a, of course, you're like at the train station and the trains going by. I thought that was cool. Some the I think the possessed, was there a possessed horse in there? I don't remember. But there was a really big monster at the end, like the some house do with the puppeteer. That was a really good finale. I really liked it. I liked the atmosphere. I liked the feeling. It gave me like, I'm trying to think of that name of that movie. From Dusk Till Dawn types in, but Western style, but not vampires, but demons. Really good house. I think what they should do more is keep hitting more Slaughter Cinema B movies and making that to a full house, because Slaughter Cinema does have really good B movie stuff there. And for example, my favorite was like, oh my god, what was the zombie robot one? It's gonna bother me again. I remember, I'll probably put it in the end, but yeah, they should keep hitting up with that idea. Same thing like they did with Monsters, when you had like a monster house in. But do it with Slaughter Cinema, like you use that as a little introduction and then make a full house. But yeah, Hatchet and Chains Demon Bounty Hunters is my number 7. For number 6 is Jason Universe. Jason Universe, amazing. I was kind of weird about it, but they had to go back again with another IP. Same thing with Jason. It's gonna be like another same thing. It's the same thing you got with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and like Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers on Halloween. If it's like a big IP like that, you obviously know what you're gonna get. Multiple scares of the same character. You barely get any of the victims. Some of them are already obviously dead NPCs. You get the one or two occasional victims, but then after that, it's all Jasons. Jason. Same thing with Leatherface, with Texas Chainsaw. Same thing with Halloween. You're gonna get Michael Myers, which is not a bad thing, because obviously it's the IP. You gotta feed that with it into you, But I really love this house. This house was surprisingly good. Obviously Jason comes out every corner, but what helps this house like greatly is the second half, like the bottom half of the house, when you see the big Jason hockey mask. As soon as you enter there, scares. It's back to back. It's constant scares. I think out of all the houses this year, Jason Universe is by far has the most scares of the house, because of that one end. It's just back to back. It's constant. It's like a combo. Keeps coming at you, and that makes the house amazing. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't. I think it also helps out with any house that's usually put in the Fast and Furious building. I always thought that was like a curse, because every house that's usually in there is not that good. I think last year's Mr. Sweets was okay compared to like previous houses that were in there, because I think the last very good house that was in that area was Run. And if you remember that, a couple years ago, Run was in that area when it was used to be Earthquake. And Run was like the Running Man, but horror, and it was amazing house. But yeah, for my number 6, Jason Universe. For number 5, Gálkn, Monsters of the North. This house was surprisingly, I had expectations for this house, but it really impressed me with its unique set design and eerie atmosphere. Especially towards the middle half end is when you see the Burning Man statue, if you know what I'm talking about. Is it more like Burning Man or like Wicker Man? If you ever seen the one with Nicolas Cage where he's put in like the straw statue, there's something like that in the house, and that was really cool because you could see it. Same thing with like the Dead Man's Pier, when you can see like the lighthouse in the corner, because you could see the Burning Man or Wicker Man statue thing coming up. You could see it in the like around the corner or over like the building, and you see it. Once you hit it, it's like the sacrifice. You can see the Burning Man house or a statue on fire, and then you see the Gálkn monster at the end. Really good house, really good scare, really good story, really good atmosphere, really good set design, really good house. I wish I could put it higher, but there are obviously other houses that deserve to be higher over it. But that's my number 5. Number 4, Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's. Nostalgia. Not scary. I went through it for a third time, luckily, and I had all the actors in the house that was in there. But it's mostly all puppets and animatronics. The animatronics, of course, amazing, great house with the animatronics. The animatronics, the puppets, everything was working except Foxy. Both times I rode Foxy does go down the hall, but he's not like moving. He's just staying put, and as he slides towards you, but still didn't bother as much. The third time I went, Foxy kind of moved more and compared, and all the cupcakes were working. I don't know if you guys had any issues with the cupcakes if you had been to the house, but every animatronic in there worked. Mostly 95% of the time I went. And the actors who are in the house did a great job. Gave you the feel of it, especially the nostalgia feel of Five Nights at Freddy's. This is what we've been waiting for, this is what we wanted, and we got it. It didn't disappoint. Wish I would put it higher, but I'm just putting it up here to my top 4 because that atmosphere, nostalgic, love the games, love the movie, and that's my number 4. Number 3, Terrifier. I would put it higher, but the other two deserve to be higher over it, in my opinion. Remember, this is all based on my opinion. I loved all 3 movies, especially number 2. I did Terrifier for the last time tonight. Loved it. There was an actor in every boo hole. It filled up. Every actor did an amazing job. My favorite scene in the house, obviously, it was from the 3rd movie, if you know what I'm talking about, the shower scene. And the actor for Art was going at it with the chainsaw. Amazing. Especially when my 3rd time through it, the wet side was actually blasting water and my shoes were soaked. I was able to avoid the sprinkler because I just went straight down the middle. But the house is amazing. Amazing. A lot of chaos in it. Brutal house. Love it. Especially the bedroom scene from part 2 in it. The actor in that who played Art, amazing job with the dead body of the girl he bleached and he scalped. Did a great job at it. Amazing. But what can you expect? It's gory, brutal, chaos, Terrifier. That's my number 3. Now, number 2 will be El Artista, a Spanish haunting. This house is beautiful, stunning visual, especially when you're out into like the courtyard and you see the fountain, and you look up at the 2nd floor and you see the glass panel. Oh my god, I can't remember what do you call those things. And it's animated, and it's amazingly beautiful house. Everything about it's good. The soldier that pops up, and they have a double scare. A lot of the actors in this house had double scares, and it's good. It's worth checking out. It's a beautiful house. Creative did a great job making this house. I think it's their baby because this house got a lot of love put into it, especially from the facade, the interior, the structure, the set, the atmosphere. It's like if Universal Studios did a Haunted Mansion. I'm not saying Monsters Unleashed, but Haunted Mansion, but like Espanol style, worth amazing. This house is beautiful. The scares are top notch. It's really good. A lot of mirror effects, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you go to a Haunted Mansion at Disney and you see the dining room, you see like the ghost fading in and out. That. It's really good house. Amazing house, top notch. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't. And it's like walking to the artist's work. It's beautiful. Must check out. And that's my number 2. A lot of people will probably not agree with me with number 1, because I'm biased about it, because I'm a huge wrestling WWE fan, and this house hits really home when you're especially a fan of the Wyatt family, and WWE, because it's like nostalgia. I think the one in Hollywood is kind of built differently. It's based on the compound, where this one is based on the Playhouse, if you have seen it. But yeah, obviously, if you can guess, my number 1 is The Horrors of the White Six. Now, this house is like mind-blowing, especially if you're a fan. Like, when you approach the house and you walk in, you see like the White Six standing up front of the WW like entrance, and you see got his name, the bride's brother, P Diddy, not P Diddy. I can't remember his name, but his brother outside, and he does the lantern part. It's great. And then the beginning of the house, you can hear the music of Shatter Me or Shatter, and it starts off slow, like the beat. And then the further deep you go into the house, the song picks up more, and it picks up more, and it picks up more, and then it does the chorus part right at the end when you exit the house. And you're like, that's something that sticks with you throughout the, especially if you know the theme song of Bray Wyatt, and you're just going through it, and it starts off, and then it just that stuck with me. Because in the beginning, you start off like you're in like the production of the WWE, like it was like this scene from a couple months ago when the White Six made their first appearance back recently, and it was reminded me just like that of the hallways. You see like Chad Gable, some of the referees all beat up or defeated, and they're all on the ground, and like the production area is all destroyed, and you see like remnants of like destruction, and then the White Six appear just like that. That's how it starts off, and you'll see like little TV monitors like during a WWE production, and you see like Jey Uso doing his yeet in the crowd. You see like John Cena. You see Roman Reigns on the screens, and then the White Six members are just all popping out doing the jump scares. The actors did not miss. Every actor in it was a full house in it, and it slaps. Even if you're not even a fan of WWE, this house slaps. It's amazing house from beginning to end. When you go to the production, and then you go into the playhouse, and you see Alexa Bliss in the playhouse with a doll, and then you go into the playhouse itself, and then you see like the pig room, and you see like LA Knight on the wall. I think that was LA Knight on the wall, and then you go down into like further in, and you see more characters of the White Six popping out. It's amazing house. It is definitely worth checking out. And then you have the Bray Wyatt's character come out. The Fiend comes out right towards the end, like the shadows of it on the doors. This house slaps. I mean, it may not be your number one, but it's definitely my number one. This house was amazing, and that's all I gotta say about that. It's definitely my personal favorite. It'll be pretty cool if they do make another house with the WWE. If it's very successful, maybe do something with the Undertaker, because that'll be something cool, or the Boogeyman, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's my number one. And that's it. That's my top 10 Halloween Horror Nights 34 all house list ranking. I did all 10 houses. Like I said, that's just my take, my personal take. Especially, maybe you can swap my number one with 2 or 3, but in my personal case, that's my number one. If you like my list, I would like to hear your list. Put your list down in the comments. Let me know what you think and why. Which one was your favorite house? Which house disappointed you more? Drop your rankings in the comments below, and let me know what you think about the podcast, and give me more ideas for the podcast. I think my next episode for my podcast will be I'm going to hit up with my friend Katie. We're going to talk about horror, like paranormal stuff, and some like scary stories, because she's a huge paranormal fan. So she has some personal stories that she may want to share, and I want to go with that. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching No Heights Required. And remember, whether it's capes, coasters, or camera lenses, there's no height required to join the fandom. Thank you again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.